Hello, good morning, everybody. Sound checkity check. I'm gonna just wait for 1 second just to make sure everything's good to go, and then we're gonna be going. Okay, I gotta kind of push this plan a little bit, this morning note a little bit quicker. I'll put maybe 12 to 13 minutes aside for it because I do have to actually open the trading room today. Victorio is doing something. I don't know exactly what, but I'm going to be running the trading room fully. I'm usually in there as a voice, but I'll be running it from the opening bell to the 11 o'clock end of the morning trading room. So it's going to be fun. Good morning, everybody. And I just want to make sure that we are good to go because when I look at YouTube, what it's showing, I don't like it. Let me see something. Oh no. I'm good to go. Oh, good morning. Okay, yeah, we're good to go. We're good to go. All right, guys, I'm going to get started. Good morning and happy Halloween, first and foremost, for anyone that celebrates. I don't know if it's a kind of holiday you wish somebody a happy holiday of, but I mean, happy Halloween nonetheless. One of my favorite trading memories of Halloween was October 31st, 2009. So this is a long time ago. Some of you may not even have been born. I was at the trading desk of Scotia Capital, and our manager was like, look, the markets are looking not too great. You know, this is when things started to sell off. Or it might have been 2010 because it was still like really weak. You know, I don't know the exact year. It's a long time ago, but it was 09 or 010. And it's Halloween, and the manager gives us the contest to like, all right, guys, come into your best outfit, whatever. Whoever wins, wins. And our managing director there had eyes on it and everybody else as well. And I I won. I won the worst costume of the year, and this is how I accomplished that feat. So I wore a red shirt, and I literally just got electrical tape, and on it I wrote a downward market with an arrow, and I put minus 20%. And when they were like, "What the hell is that?" and I'm like, "I'm the S&P 500." I, you got to remember, this is triggering people. Their portfolios are down. And that was my costume. Anyways, there wasn't anyone on the trading desk and the management team of the trading desk that didn't know me after that Halloween. So I made a splash. Don't know if it was a good one. All right. In today's session, tech earnings are driving everything upward. S&P's up 0.6%. NASDAQ up 1.1. Russell up 0.2. In Europe, you know, everything's kind of just moderately lower, not much lower though. Tech is leading right now. Apple's up 2.5%. Amazon up 11.5%. Holy moly. That's strong earnings, both on Apple and Amazon. Amazon being up 11% is ridiculous if you think about the market cap that generates. All right, and the shareholder value and wealth increase in a single session. Bananas. All right, Amazon's up that much, and Apple, after really strong earnings, Apple sees China growth returning after a strengthening relationship with U.S. and President Trump and President Xi. Amazon's AWS unit is up 20%, which is their web services. Amazon Web Services, what AWS stands for. It's the best since 2022. So they're ramping up activity, and you could tell because it keeps crashing. I could tell they're up in sales. I could have told you that AWS would be up because usage is up so high, it keeps crashing the darn thing. It's Amazon, guys. It's not going to crash if there is no increase in usage, right? They're a beast when it comes to time to cloud services. They are one of the first companies that started providing web services, and I've used actually. Okay, so market impact on that. Well, bonds are under pressure. Obviously, they don't like this. Meta is planning to spend $30 billion, or actually planning to raise $30 billion rather in a bond issue, biggest since 2023. You know, they had bad earnings. They got hit, so they're trying to raise money in the, not equity, but in the bond markets. All right, that's two ways to finance. Gold holds above 4,000. Bitcoin down 1.5%. Ethereum down 1.9%. I think they're just down when I read them and going up and coming back down because they're staying around the same level, but they're down every day, it seems, crypto. I ought to look into this stuff. President Xi urges true multilateralism at the APEC summit. Remember, it's still ongoing. Donald Trump and Xi met at this summit together to put together a framework. And Trade Secretary Bessonnet said yesterday that there could be a signature coming as early as next week. So for anyone who criticizes them, including me, saying this is great in theory and agreement, where's the actual deal? You know, they heard, they listened, and they said it's coming next week. As early as next week, there could be pen to paper. So that's something that kind of put even more optimism in the market, because it's not just handshake deals. This is becoming an official thing. All right. On the, Japan, blah, blah. I don't think that's really important. We'll skip that. Macro and data, Eurozone inflation is steady at 2.1%. That's really good because, look, we just got the Fed. Now this is the European Central Bank, the ECB. Tokyo CPI is hotter at 2.8. The reason I mention all this stuff is if we could kind of, since the U.S. is shut down and the government is shut down, not the U.S., but the U.S. government is shut down, and there is not much economic data, looking abroad and looking at the global picture and changes in those trends could help us ascertain what we currently might have in the U.S. Now, it's still a guess. It's anyone's best guess until the data starts coming out. All right. U.S. releases, Chicago PMI, Dallas Fed today. All right. There's some key Fed speakers, including Logan and Bostich. All right. So the interpretation to all of this, basically, that I wrote down is the market tone is optimistic, but it's tech-led optimism on earnings. And there's kind of global trade caution. That's the undertone. So these two things come into collision with one another. All right. Yields are rising. They're on a bid. Commodities are soft, which suggests like there's risk on, but it's like a fragile type of risk on. It's not super secure in itself. It's still discovering itself as a risk on kind of child. All right. Investors are kind of balancing the strong earnings of the U.S. with the weak global data. This is what's happening today's session. All right. On the options activity front, there's a strong call wall at 6940/50 level, and there's a smaller one at 6900 or 6910, which the 6910 is actually below where we're at the moment. But the biggest one is at 6940/50, so that's going to naturally be a hamper and a resistance. You'll see when I turn around in a second on the chart, I have it marked down and where it falls in line with the price. All right, the put wall is also ironically at 6840/50, so that creates a really big dealer gamma pin level. All right, and the secondary one is a 6890, 6900, slightly below. So I'm gonna show you that. The daily levels, I'll read through that in a second. My trading plan, I'm gonna turn around and talk to you about it right now. All right, so let's spin around. Let's turn this camera off, and let's turn the other camera on, and let's draw some things on a screen with charts. Luis, is the microphone low? Do you guys agree? Is everyone else having this issue too, where the mic is low? Like, it shouldn't be, but let me see. What about if I push it to like here right now? What about this? Is this good? I thought it, like, I don't know. I thought the level would be at a good place. Now you have to turn, your speakers down. Nope. Not any better? MS, not any better? You're not having the issues. All right, well. It's better. But it's not ideal, Luis? Because I see here now I'm kind of like peaking on the red. You don't want to be on the red for sure. All right, well, we'll get that resolved. I promise you. We'll look into that. We'll get it resolved. For today, okay, here's where we are at. All right, I'm going to show you this chart and probably end it here. This is where I had marked the call wall at 6940/50. See this level? It's a big resistance. Also happens to be the Wednesday high. So this is the week high as well. All right, we tried to break that high not once, but twice on Wednesday. Of course, we had the Fed. That was a big impactful event. Then on Thursday, we had one last push to break it, but we couldn't. And from there, just purely on market structure, we were putting in what? Lower highs and lower lows. All right, this seems pretty bearish. especially when we came in and the prior day low yesterday, 68.51, swiped the prior day below that, which was the 88. So 88 down to 51, you're down like, 30 points, 37 points-ish on the lows. All right, so you're down 37 points on the low. Things are chugging along. The trend is starting to get bearish. Even people who trade gaps are getting excited because the gap is kind of halfway closed. So things, for all intents and purposes, were pretty bearish in yesterday's session, right? And in fact, if you guys want to see, this is what I wrote for the notes. This is where I'm going to be a little bit pessimistic here. All right, stock earnings led futures higher overnight. Before that happened, daily low yesterday was lower than the prior day low. I just showed you that. Volume was ramping up on selling, which means the market liked the selling. And markets closed just 2.5 points above the daily low. So you could see that here. All right, have a look. Prior day low, 68.51. Prior day cash close, 68.53 quarter. So that's 2.25 stinking points higher. So we closed on the low. All right, very bearish occurrence. Overnight, we get the news. Obviously, Apple and Amazon, everything kind of rallies and everyone likes it. But here's my trading plan, okay? In essence and in short. I like the long above 68.90. So as long as we stay kind of above this level, okay? It's so hard to draw with a trackpad on a Mac. All right, I like that level because look, number one, here, let me get my mouse. Number one, there's a lot of activity there. It's not that much better. It's almost worse. I just can't draw. I need to get a pen for hooked up this computer. But I like the 90. We got a put wall action there. We have the overnight low of tonight's session. We have the open of yesterday. There's just so much data. We have a prior low as well. We have prior highs, prior opens here on the Tuesday or the Monday after a gap. There's a lot to like about the 90. All right, so this level here is great for me, and it will act as my flip zone because it's supported by a put wall. So above here is the long side. Below here, I'll start to look for the short side. But one thing that I wrote is I need to see some order flow patterns that are firm today. I need to see something tangible. I'm not just going to jump into something that looks somewhat good. I need to see my A+ setups. And I wrote, I'll wait until an A+ sets up. An A+ setup sets up. That was the play on words. All right, or I won't do much. There's no point in forcing Fridays. I typically don't actually even trade Fridays much. So here's where we are. All right, it's louder. It's fine. Just had to raise my volume better. Yes, better. Sounds fine to me. No issue. It's good. Just compared to another video I had on before this, it was low, but it's perfect now. Oh, amazing. So now we're good. Now we're hitting the spot. Because, yeah, you want to compare it to other videos for sure. Because you could turn up the volume, but the problem with that is if you listen to another one, it'll blow your eardrums, and you'll blame me. Because you're like, gosh, dang it. George's volume was so low, I had to turn it up. I turn it up, my eardrums are blown. TRADEPRO, blah, 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 blah. You can't. Solomon, what's going on? Why? What's the problem? It's low for you? Guys, let's fix this. I got to figure this out. This is troubling to me on a Friday. What about now? Maybe you just got to put the mic like right here. What about now, Solomon? Stone. Scaring the crap out of me on a Friday, buddy. It is Halloween, I guess. You guys pranking me. All right, that's the plan, though. That's the plan for today's session. The plan for today's session is 68.90. Use that as the zone. Okay. All right. 68.90. Use that as a zone to see if we could leverage a last support for a rally. But honestly, I think that if we didn't have this optimism from tech stocks, I think we would have closed the gap by now and we'd be trading much lower. Another screen I wanted to show you, which I probably can't. Well, let me just start with different energy. Another screen I'm going to show you. No. Oh, yeah, perfect. Okay. This is a screen I wanted to show you. All right, is we kind of, look, we sell off here. These are volume profiles that I do look at. All right, okay. Solomon just tripping me out. Thank you guys. I'm not gonna focus on these comments anymore for sound. We pull down here. We get a big sell off, but the value migration, like while it was migrating lower earlier in the week, this is kind of the first day we're consolidating it. And if you look at it on a weekly level, we are sort of in the middle of the value areas and the TPO, which suggests some neutrality to today's trade, which means I think early on after the opening bell, we get the drive, and then the follow-through moves aren't guaranteed. We might actually get into a sideways consolidation type market well into the afternoon and then get the move in power hour around 2:30 to 4. All right, that's the sentiment. I hope that was helpful to you guys. I really do appreciate you. Thank you for the help and working through the sound issue with me. I'm going to retest it and hear it, download it, and see, compare it to other videos as well. I'm going to get my team to work on that because we really do want to give you guys the absolute best. I believe you're the best. You deserve the best. I love you so much. Have a great day. Have a happy Hallow of the Ween. If you guys are taking the kids out, check the candy, man. I'm just kidding, but do. And have a great rest of your day, guys. Have a fantastic weekend. I'm going to miss you, but I'll see you back here on Monday at 9 a.m. You guys are the best. Have a wonderful time. And trade like it's Friday today, because it is. Take care. Goodbye.